Hi Darlene, it's Don. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up Twitter Camp for your upcoming Long Island Tech Summit. It's fairly simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you from the installation process, for the most part, right and down to the end where you're actually configuring the Twitter Camp. Now the installation process is pretty straightforward, so I'm going to skip over some of that. But the first thing I did was I typed in Twitter Camp. And I googled it, and I clicked on the first link. Then I clicked on right here, DanielDeora.com, and what that did is that brought me to this page, and this kind of explains Twitter Camp, what it's used for. Let me just click on the image to show you. So you can see in here, this is actually what it's going to look like, and I'm sure you've seen this before. So all the tweets pop in here, nice and neat, and everything kind of, everyone gets together like they're camping, I guess. I don't know. But the important part down here is the steps. So right down here, there's you got to download and install the Adobe Air Runtime. That's just basically an installer. And then lastly, secondly, you have to download Twitter Camp. And then basically you open that file, and then it runs through the installation process, which is very straightforward. You keep clicking next, and eventually you'll be done. So once you're done with the installation, you can just you can go here and open up Twitter Camp, and you're brought to this screen. Now it's pretty straightforward. What you have to do here is you have to type in the search terms. They're going to give you some default ones that are bogus. You just want to get rid of those, and you want to make sure you have at LI Tech Summit 09. So that's basically telling Twitter Camp to pull in any tweets that reference or have anywhere in the message, for that matter, at LI Tech Summit 09. So what that's going to do is that's going to basically alert Twitter Camp of how to work. So you can actually add other things besides just that. So if you wanted to do that, you could do or. I don't know if you have one set up. I'm just going to pretend. ES BOCES. So that means that if anybody references at ES BOCES, then those tweets would also be pulled in. But for now, let's just keep it the way it is. Okay. Additionally, if you can find more of the Twitter search operators right here. Let me just click on that for a second. So right here, like it says, if you want to do something like a specific term, you want to do or, you want to do something minus something. For instance, you could do that right there. So let me go back to Twitter Camp. We could use the default skins, which we have now. Or we could use the following settings. Now if I click on this, it's going to preload the settings that I set up before, and I set it up like a BOCES type one. So you can change the background color. Right now we have the BOCES blue. You could add a background image. I chose not to because I wanted the color, of course, but you can change that as well. Background logo. There's a logo behind here you can't see, which you'll see in a second. The footer logo, that's what's down here. So I put in the BOCES logo, of course, and then the bubble logo you'll see in a little bit. That looks like a campfire right now, and we can change that. And then right now is the message, which is important. The message is what's going to tell the people who are using Twitter how to get their tweets on your nice little bulletin board, if you will. So what you can do is you can just put the message here. So it says to see your message on the account, create a Twitter, and then add at LI Tech Summit to your message. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be the beginning, it doesn't have to be the end. Just somewhere within that 140 character tweet, write that somewhere, and they'll automatically pop in. So let me just go hit save, and you can kind of see the magic happen. Oh, I must have made a black background, but that's alright. So what you can do here is we see custom computer specialist. Must have referenced, yep, right here in their tweet. And then right here, this other fellow, Fred, he also referenced it in his tweet as well. So that pops up. The things that I wanted to mention that I didn't get to show you before is this is that background logo that I was mentioning, and then the other thing here is this is the bubble logo. So I don't know if you wanted to change the campfire. I think it's kind of cool, but if you needed to change it, that's how you would do that. And to go back to that screen once you do it the first time, you just simply right-click on the background, left-click on Configure Twitter Camp, and here is your nice pop-up. Now let me just change the color back to the BOCES blue, which is 6577. I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to hit save. So there you go, BOCES blue, back in style, and it's all set. The last thing I do have to tell you, and this was probably the thing that took me the longest amount of time, believe it or not, is how do you get out of this darn thing? So once you're ready to close it out, you can hit escape, and then you just hit the X, and then it won't be full screen again. And then if you just hit this, it's back in full screen. So the other thing is if you do click on this, you can move it around if you don't want it to make the entire page. So that's pretty much Twitter Camp from when I gathered at it. It seems pretty cool. Just the important thing is people have to reference this, and lastly, you have to make sure that that is one of your search terms. So that's pretty much the basics, and if you have any other questions, you know where to find me. Thanks.